Tennessee Homestead. How the heck are you? Hey, has anybody noticed that it may just be something local here, but have you notice it's really cooled off quick this fall? Usually we don't see in this area real cooling trends until October, early part of October, mid part of October. And we've been having real cool temperatures for the last couple of weeks here. And, heading in toward the end of September, which is kind of early. Just kind of curious if you folks are seeing any of the same kind of things out there. Of course, with the grand solar minimum and all this kind of stuff taking place, we're going to see climates adjust around. And climate change. Wow, that's my favorite topic. I had gotten into a conversation while out west with some young people. We'd stopped in and got a bite to eat at this restaurant. And there was some protesters, actual protesters that was protesting an issue. They were out at one of the facilities out there protesting climate change. Okay, cool. That's reasonable, But we all got into it, and it was nice because we could have a reasonable discourse conversation. And a lot of them were like, really? And so, it was kind of fun pointing out that not everything you've been told is the gospel. This one fellow that I was talking to, I told him, I said, man, this has been going on since the 60s and 70s. He was shocked. He thought they were on top of something new and different. I was like, nah. No. At one point we were going into an ice age. Then we were going into global warming, and and I said, if you'll notice, they always keep sticking this 10 years cap on it. I said, really? And I started laying out there, and I said, you do understand this is nothing more than a way for governments, world governments, and our government to dig deeply into your back pocket. That's all it's about. Oh no, and he's trying to. I said, someone says, back up here just a minute. I said, if you look at every target that they have claimed was going to happen, as it happened. I said, this was all supposed to be over by 2000. We all dead. Worldwide flooding, all that's, just dead. I said, none of it happens. I said, they've been predicting stuff since the 70s and the 60s, that by the 70s you're going to start seeing these terrible, terrible things. And the fact of the matter is, it never happens. That's because they're wrong. Their models are wrong. They're wrong. Does climate change? Yes. There are records from our polar caps and so forth that shows climate changes. All right. Are we controlling it? Probably not at all, if any. Minimal. But at least got some of those kids thinking of, and they all said that, well, there's these climate deniers. And so I said, you read their stuff? Well, no. You ought to. Come on, how do you know? You may read their stuff and go, that makes a heck of a lot more sense than what I was told in school. I said, wouldn't that be silly? Well, no, that's not the way it'd be. I said, yeah, maybe. I said, there's a reason that they're trying real hard to say the science is settled. You can't even question this. I said, because their models don't work. None of this has come true. Relax, children. And I think we actually touched base on a few of them where they're like, and was taking, what's this guy's name again? So, hopefully, maybe just, and that's discourse between people. I don't know how this nation has gotten to the point of 2020. I don't. Well, I know a lot of it's education. These professors pumping this critical race theories and all this kind of nonsense out at these kids. And while in theory it sounds like it might work, when in reality it's actually creating racism. It really is. This country, and if you haven't been around on this planet long enough, children, and you haven't been around on this planet long enough, most of these kids out here, in their 20s and so forth don't realize that the racism in this country has gotten worse. Your generation is stirring up more race nonsense than has been in this country probably since way back when. The 40s, World War II, brought a lot of this racism nonsense, put it somewhat under control, because a lot of those guys coming back from the war, they realized that, yeah, there was white boys that saved my butt, and the white boys going, there's black fellas that saved my butt. They all fought together as a team. They learned something from that, judging by their character. Politicians, not so much. Not so much. Tell you a quick little thing. When my daughter was in just going into middle school, one of her teachers got them writing letters back and forth with set up pen pal things with Russian students. And it turned out, talked to several other parents. Parents were probably more involved than anything. But you started learning things. What the Russians thought of us and the misconceptions we had about the Russians. All right? Now, governments set them aside, because that's what we all did. We kind of set government aside. What did the people think? And found out that, yeah, for the most part, Russians were good people. Okay? Had one guy hit me with the thing on nuclear weapons and so forth. He says Russia has a law that says we can't do a preemptive nuclear strike on any country. Why do you guys not have that? Made you have to think. If they say they wouldn't do a preemptive nuclear strike in their law, why does our law say we will? Makes you go, See, we viewed each other as countries as warmongers. Probably somewhat truthful. This country's a bit of a warmongering nation, and Russia's done its fair share. The governments. As far as the people, not so much. It's kind of fascinating. Just talking about the different lives. And believe me, it's not that big of a difference. We're all just human beings. We all want the same things. Live in safety. Live in peace. Raise our families. Okay? That's it. We are losing that in this country today. What is it? Approximately 12. There's 12 cases that BLM hold up, according to their site, which, by the way, BLM, taking that stuff off of your website, trying to hide who you really are, didn't work. Everybody already knows. Okay? And everybody saved your pages, so you just kind of hosed with that. They're going to keep coming up to haunt you, so you might as well get back and be loud and proud, okay? Yeah, no sense of trying to lie to people just because now it looks really, really bad on you. But, yeah, you have to start looking at, they put down that there's been 12 people killed this year by police. Okay, well, there's been that many and more of whites. Of course, there's more whites, right? Yeah, that's true. But the amount of crime rate that the whites are involved in is a little lower than your guys' too, so that helps keep us out of conflict with the police. I don't totally agree with a lot of the policing going on today. I think cops are too fast to the gun. Okay? But when you look at things like this Breonna Taylor, this girl has been under investigation because of the drug ring that she was operating in, had been under investigation since 2016. She did not die in her bed. She died in a hallway, where it looks like that piece of crap of a boyfriend of hers, she had 2 boyfriends, by the way. I don't know if Sonny's ever talked about that either. Both of them involved in the same drug ring, by the way. The aspiring EMT. No, she wasn't. She got fired from that because she had rented a car, and when they took it back, there was a body in the back. Yeah. Looked like something went wrong on her drug deal or something. So somehow she got her tush out of it by claiming she didn't know. But her employer kind of patted her on the shoulder and said, I think you need to go on now. So, yeah, there's a lot going there. Okay? She was no saint. She was pretty much wrapped up in a criminal ring. And it got her killed. Now, that POS of a boyfriend of hers, okay? And notice I didn't say POC, I said POS. That's where he was at. He got her killed. Shooting at the police. And no, they didn't just kick in the door and all that story that you're telling out there. None of it is true. And that girl had been under a police investigation for 4 flippin' years. Had her little name on the search warrant, her address, yeah. And the information's beginning to come out now. That's what they call an investigation, and court hearings and things of this nature bring that sort of stuff to light, and that's why you guys never wait for that information to come to light, because if you looked at the facts, you'd go, oh, crap, there's nothing here. Right? No, is police perfect? No, they're not. They're human beings. They make mistakes. Okay? So if you held your organization to the same standards, why did you guys kill that 18-year-old black, or that 8-year-old black girl in Atlanta? Shot her dead. Why did you do that? Were you hunting little black children? Sounds awful racist to me, Black Lives Matter, that you would be out killing black children. That's the same standards you try to hold the police to. One of your people pulled a gun, shot into a car, and killed an 8-year-old black girl. That's on you, BLM. That's on you. So if you want to hold the police to a standard, okay, let's hold you to the same one. How many kids have you killed? I can think of 2 so far. How about at the Chaz in the shop out there in Seattle? How many kids did you kill? I know that one kid driving around got gunned down by your security people. He was unarmed. There's another statistic. Maybe we should start adding up between the police, the amount of people that they kill, and the amount you're killing. You'd be close right about now. Hypocrites. Cut it out. Antifa, you want to be a communist and all that kind of nonsense? China's due west. Have a good time, man. It ain't going to happen here. Okay? Your little revolution, you better pray to heavens you never start one, because it's going to be over pretty quick. Americans have been fighting communism for years. They got pretty good at it. Yeah, you don't want to be there. Not enough of you, number one. Okay? Because let me tell you something. When the bullets come down range, you're going to find that your herd thins pretty quick. Okay? It's going to be good. We're done. We're out. Bye. Grow up. You're not going to change America into some sort of socialist utopia, so give it up. Black Lives Matter. You have done some stupid things, and you talk about some stupid things. Oh, we want to segregate. Huh? You know, you're running off a book written by a racist. What's that make you? Yeah. I personally don't have a problem with blacks and Indians, and I've run across jerks in about every race that comes along, and I've ran across a lot of good people, and of every race that's out there. And I'm going to assume them to be good until they prove me wrong. You might want to try doing the same. And oh yeah, it makes you guys look like some kind of winners when you go after some 80-year-old couple having dinner. Senior citizens. Yeah. Tough guys, aren't you? Ridiculous. Getting in people's faces with bullhorns. I'm just waiting for the one person who yanks that bullhorn out of your hand, throws it down on the ground, stomps it into a pancake, and sticks a gun in your face, and then get the heck away from me, or you're next. It's going to happen. Guarantee it. Let's try loving one another and working on our problems. Use the opportunities that have been presented to you by your forefathers at a heck of a cost. People like Martin Luther King and so forth. They paid a heck of a price to give you opportunities that if you utilize them, you don't have to be a drug dealer. You don't have to be a gangbanger. You don't have to be a thug. You can be a business owner. You can be an actress. You can be a computer technician. There's a lot of things you've got the right to be. You don't have to be a thug. So if you're a thug, it's because you chose that life. Is your position in life, okay? Because there's some group of people out there watching over you, trying to make sure you don't get any benefits. Make sure you don't get ahead, holding you down. And there really probably is, called Democrats, but you keep voting for them, so enjoy. Most of us would like to see you get an education, have a voucher to where your parents can send your kids to good schools. And if these are crap schools in your neighborhoods, put them out of business. Don't send your kids there. We'd like to see you do well. We would like to see you become a good, solid, functioning part of the society. And you're too wrapped up in your victimhood to see that. Come on, folks. Let's get real. Okay? A lot of good people out there in all races. And there's a fair amount of jerks in all races. All right? Humans come in that kind of categories. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay? It's no big conspiracy. This is Rich, Jesse Armstead. Really do love you guys. Would really like to see you get your heads out of you, Tush. BLM, Antifa. Okay? And come join the rest of the world and be prosperous. Good luck.